He asks for a pic. When we decline, he throws out racist comments. Then, and just to warn you, the language is graphic. He writes, "Meet me where I say, to stay free in my place. And just to consider you, you'll have to suck my..."
Okay, we are back. So this video is about people posting ads on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. You give me friends with benefit, then you get like a free place to live. I'm gonna go into it. Let's just watch the video.
Mature subject matter and sexuality. Viewer discretion is advised.
We're undercover, waiting for a man who posted an ad online.
Hey, Jacqueline?
Offering up a place to live.
I can sit here.
Rent-free. But there's a catch.
That's what kind of with the friends with benefits sort of thing, right? If you're into that.
I want to hear from your terms, because a lot of people say different things. And that's one thing I
Let
find.
me fool around a little bit here and there, right? Sort of.
When you say...
Saying bad, right?
Yes, you heard right. And yes, he gets explicit.
If you're not into actually sex, that's cool. We can do other things.
Sleeping in the same bed. That's some dirty work. No.
Dangerous trend we're investigating, emerging out of Canada's housing crisis. For rent. We're searching for indecent rental ads.
A cute, fun female to help me relax. Ideal for student or international student.
We want to know, how common are they? Could they be leading young women, especially those in colleges and universities, into sexual exploitation? And what are the consequences?
Housing is too expensive, food is too expensive.
I don't even have Wi-Fi anymore.
I used to live in downtown, so I moved back home. Most people my generation that I speak to, none of us really have any expectation of actually owning a home.
Be home and go to school, take your classes and all of that. Don't move out of home if you can't afford it. Like, there is no rush.
It's no wonder people look for cheap housing on sites like Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. That's where we look too. It doesn't take long to find posts like this.
Daddy can pay rent for student girl.
Seeking live-in girlfriend.
Friends with benefits situation.
But are these ads for real?
It's absolutely shocking.
Brampton Regional Councillor Rowena Santos says yes. She says international students are most at risk.
International student girls, as you saw in two of the pictures of posts that Councillor Keenan has shared, are essentially being prostituted for rent.
She's been raising awareness after seeing this Only for Girls ad go viral. In it, the option to pay nothing at all if you agree to a friends with benefits arrangement. That includes free food and money for shopping. When you brought this to the public's attention, there was skepticism. What did you make of that?
Well, I think there's an unfortunate stigma when it comes to international students.
The Small Landlords Association called the ad fake.
Well, it wasn't the only ad. And it's not just in Brampton, it's across the GTHA. And let's be perfectly clear here. There are really good landlords and very good people.
Yes.
But there are also very bad people who like to prey on situations like this.
Okay, so we're going to respond to some of these ads, but who's really behind these posts? And we're going to look for the explicit messages. What happens when someone responds? Things like FWB, friends with benefits. Will they go through with their sex for rent arrangement as advertised? We're replying to 10 of these conspicuous listings to test it out. See what kind of replies we get back.
I got a response to one of the ads. So I reached out to him saying that I'm an international student looking for an affordable place.
Yeah.
And how would the arrangement work? And the response I got is, it's available, and send a nude picture and age for the application.
Okay then, on to the next one. Another mention of benefits. We want some clarity.
They said, I'm sure you know what friends with benefits mean. I'm not looking for a girlfriend, just some fun from time to time when the need arises.
When the need arises.
And in this exchange, they're not only offering free rent for physical things, he'll actually cover groceries, utilities, and entertainment too. We get him on a call to find out more.
So it's like kind of end up here. It's like normal, like, that's it.
While he's open about what he wants initially, when we press him for specifics, he clams up.
Like, do you expect sexual relations?
No, exactly that one.
What did you mean by FWB?
So the meaning actually.
Yeah, let's say you don't know what FW mean. You putting that ad on there. What do you mean? Like, you know, this whole thing is just crazy.
This is just a small fraction of what we were able to find, but take a look.
I'm open to friends with benefits to cover rent and a few other things. Contact for further details, no need to pay rent. They know what they're doing. They know that these young women don't necessarily know the context of this.
Some young women might not know the context of this, but I feel some would know. Like, I mean, friends with benefit, I feel like that's kind of obvious and weird at the same time. You get the idea when you see this ad. You can't tell me you don't know what that means just by seeing the ad, but you're just gonna get pimped or something. That is crazy.
They know that these young women don't have enough money, that they have very limited options, and they're just putting it out there.
She says what concerns her most, evidence shows these arrangements can lead to sex trafficking.
As an international student girl, the one thing that keeps them trapped is the human trafficker or the landlord saying, listen, if you say anything to the police or anyone, you're going to be deported. So that threat keeps these young women in these situations.
Trapped.
They get pregnant, they get to commit suicide. There's no escape. Or they don't believe that there is.
None of this I've said out loud since it happened, ever.
Maya is breaking her silence. We've changed her name and concealed her identity because she's fearful of retaliation. Back in 2017, she's in university, renting the upper floor of a house in Toronto, with her landlord living downstairs. It's when he breaks up with his girlfriend, she says, that he begins to harass her. When did he start connecting your rent and your living arrangement with sexual favors?
Immediately, if I didn't do what he wanted, he would start the eviction process or start demanding more rent. He would turn off the heat or the water or the lights if I didn't do what he wanted. That was really scary.
Can you talk to me about the sexual advances that he made?
And when things got bad, he started saying he was going to come up and we were going to have sex and I would enjoy it. And, of course, I said no, but he got more mad and he kept saying, no, you don't have a choice. This is my house. I'll do what I want. When he started coming up and, banging on the door and trying to let himself in and yelling that he was going to come up and have with me, I couldn't leave the house. I was terrified.
Months later, her family steps in and moves her out. She shares a post on social, warning other young women to beware of this landlord for a whole host of reasons, including sexual harassment, intimidation, and misogynistic.
I saw that offered free rent, so I was interested in meeting you. Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what kind of with the friends with benefits sort of thing, right? If you're into that.
I want to hear from your terms, because a lot of people say different things, and that's one thing I find.
We fool around a little bit here and there, right? Sort of.
When you say
In the same bed, right?
okay, there's only one bed.
Yes.
Okay.
Back on.
I like to orally please.
You like what?
To orally please.
To orally please.
Yeah, stuff like that. Finger play. If you're not into actual, that's cool. We can do other things, right?
But we want to know if there's any other way to pay.
So what if sometimes I had money to pay rent? Like, so I wouldn't just be...
I would be like,
working for
save
free?
it, girl. If you're, hey, I don't mind helping you out if you're kind of helping me out too, right? You know what I mean?
You only want girls?
Of course.
Like young girls?
Not necessarily legal age. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm willing to help someone out. You seem to be smart. You're pretty. You're younger. You need a hand. You need help. You know, a little bit of basic help, sort of. Hamilton's brutal, right?
Really?
Yes. Be careful. Don't be gullible, right?
A few days later, we set up a meeting with the man behind a different Craigslist ad. It says, "Are you a female looking for cheap rent or help?" But things take a turn quickly when we email. He says he wants an arrangement with a female for occasional fun, and if there's a connection, the rent is free. After that, a flurry of messages come our way. The tone is vulgar. "I'm assuming you're single with a healthy drive. I've got a very thick. Is that all right with you?" Then, "I'm looking for ongoing Jasmine, and I'm pleased to help in any way with school expenses." Minutes later, this lewd late-night follow-up. "I hope this doesn't offend, but I'm experienced and it's going to feel good." Attached, a photo of his private parts. We decide it's too risky to meet. Instead, we get him on the phone. "My name is Asha Tomlinson. I'm a host with CBC Marketplace. You've been connecting with one of our journalists about the ad that you posted on Craigslist. Right. And I just want to know..." Didn't even get a question in, and he hung up. We reach out again, asking for an on-camera interview. He gets back to us and says he had no idea what he was doing was against the law, that he thought it was harmless as long as it's two consenting adults. He's taken the ad down and adds, "I was foolish and I'm truly sorry." Next, another low-key listing until scandal erupts. It says looking to help out a young student struggling with housing, stay at my place for free. He asks for a pic. When we decline, he throws out racist comments. Then, and just to warn you, the language is graphic. He writes, "Meet me where I say, to stay free in my place, and just to consider you, you'll have to suck my..." Understand? We won't be meeting him either. Of the 10 ads we look at with a more neutral tone, 9 reply back. Half propose a sex for rent arrangement. Janine believes police forces should launch a crackdown.
It's as simple as sending an undercover officer to respond to these ads. We know that the single biggest deterrent to this kind of behavior is enforcement. It's the threat of publicity and real consequences. And when those are not there, the behavior flourishes.
Caressing your body, making you feel relaxed and comfortable, make you feel good.
Remember the man we meet in Hamilton about his sex for rent listing? We're calling him up to reveal we're journalists.
Hello?
Hi, my name is Asha Tomlinson. I'm a host with CBC Marketplace. You've been connecting with one of our journalists about an ad you posted on Craigslist.
Okay.
Can you walk me through why you choose to offer housing in this way?
I like to help people out. But anyways, have a good day.
But that's it. He hung up. All he would say,
this charter that was established
with an international student charter to support young women and a residential licensing program for landlords. She's also calling on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist to do more. We share our findings with them. Facebook's parent company, Meta, says this type of content violates their policies, and they encourage people to report it if they see it. As for Maya, she hopes speaking up will empower other women to do the same. What would you say to young women who are in similar situations, who feel trapped and have nowhere to go?
We don't have to deal with what they're doing. It's not legal. They're not alone. There is a way. If we all speak up together, maybe we can make a difference.
Yeah, that is scary and crazy. If the landlord tells you if you say anything to anyone, you're gonna be deported, that is crazy. I mean, imagine you living in the United States where deportation is a natural thing, which is happening right now. And like you are in a situation like this and trying to get yourself out and try to report it, and then the landlord tells you you're gonna be deported. Like, because people are really literally getting deported now, you know, like for real, people are getting deported. So you are gonna feel scared, especially if you don't really understand immigration laws and how things like. So you could literally have a valid visa and you're a student, and then you are still scared because the person mentioned deportation. That's how crazy it is. Oh my god. Thank you so much for watching. This was a lot to unpack. So if you're someone in this situation and you don't mind sharing, I would really love to hear more about this. But yo, guys, just tell me what you think about this, because I feel this is madness. This is insane, and it's my first time hearing it, so I'm just like all over the place, like oh my god, like is this thing really real? Is this happening? I don't know, but this is in Canada right now. I don't know if it's in the United States or anywhere else in the world, but I'm sure it's happening somewhere else, and this is crazy. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm thinking of finding another video we can react to. So let's find another video. I'll see you in the next one. Like this video and leave a comment.